Alright guys, today's going to be a midweek analysis on the Euro USD, and this is going to be a pre-FOMC analysis tomorrow. Going into tomorrow, if we take a look at the calendar, we've got the FOMC economic projections, and of course the federal funds rate, and then at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, we have FOMC press conference where Jerome Powell is going to speak about the economy, which is pretty interesting, given basically what it is a bank bailout of current events. They're going to pump, I think, $2 trillion into to help the banks out, and which is pretty wild considering that we're trying to fight inflation at the same time. So it's going to be pretty interesting what we hear tomorrow from Chairman Jerome Powell. But going back into the Euro USD, we're going to take a look at both the bull side and the bear side of the market. I try to give both sides of the spectrum to those who feel like they're bullish and to those who are looking more on the bearish side. But we'll start with the daily chart on the Euro USD. So if you followed the last video I did, even the last two videos I did on the analysis, I kept talking about this area which I call the pivotal zone. You see this blue line right over here, and if I mark that out, I kept looking for the market to break through this. Now, obviously, it just keeps finding support again and again and again. So starting at the beginning of the year, we had that strong support where the market found a footing here and took off, and then found its way here again. Now, it was fine where we kind of made a small retracement, and then this big bearish candle right over here took all this long positions out, and it refused to go lower than this zone. So we made a nice rally, and then again another very hard move to the downside, but again it refused to go lower than this pivotal zone, which the market has held at strongly as support. And then obviously you can see this nice big run up now back up to this median level. Now, I was looking to go short if we got up to this zone, and the reason why is because, let me draw this support and resistance level. Okay, I take my resistance to support, and we have this two resistance levels here. I was looking for a bigger push to the upside to try to go short here, and then take this a lot lower, whether it was the pivotal zone or below that. Obviously, didn't make it there, so one level I was looking at was this support to this resistance level. Now, if I backtrack just a little bit and use this replay tool, you can see once we got up here, I was talking about, this possibly being a resistance level. And once the market made a push down and got pushed right back up, and which the bulls refused to go lower, and it pretty much ended flat on a candle basis, it just dropped tremendously hard. I mean, this was a huge move for the euro. I think it was over a 2% move for the euro. And even around here, even with this big bearish candle, the market still refused to go below this pivotal zone. Little by little, it found its footing and just continue higher to where we are now. Now you can see with that same trend line, the market's still respecting it. This is a live chart right now. This is not a replay. This is a live chart what's happening right now. The euro's up 0.41%. At one point, it was up, I think, 0.60%, and pretty much made. It's looking like it's going to close below this for now. Right now, it's 2:33 p.m. here, Eastern Standard Time. So it's respecting this level right now. Now, do I want to go short? There's two reasons why I don't want to go short right now, even though earlier I did get short at 1.0780, which is all the way up here. And then I started thinking about the whole trend plus FOMC tomorrow. Now, FOMC could be extremely volatile, so if you're on the wrong end of that, things could get pretty wild, right? If you have a stop loss, it's fine. But at the same time, I'm still not fully convinced that of which direction I want to take because we refuse to break out of this whole section right over here, right? You see, we started up here, found support, push up, found support, and now we're stuck between this pivotal zone and this long-term median level that you see up here with the dotted lines. So I'm not fully convinced yet on what the market wants to do. If I zoom out, this would make the bullish case. Okay, we started all the way back here, nice trend all the way to the upside, and then now finding footing here. On top of that, we have a hidden divergence. For those of you who don't know what a hidden divergence is, it's basically what I call a trend continuation divergence, where not necessarily just a MACD, you can use stochastics, you can use RSI. Some people prefer to use something called the tricks. There's various tools. I find that the MACD is, I can read the MACD the best, and I find it to be the most powerful because I've been using it for so long. But basically, when the market finds a low and it takes off and then it pulls back, but it doesn't necessarily exceed the previous low or finds a slightly higher low, while the MACD is making an obvious lower low, okay, because this matches up, this low matches up with this low on the MACD, and then when it wants to find footing again on the pivotal zone on the MACD, I'm sorry, on the chart, the MACD went to a lot lower low, and you can see there's a big fight over here to push this up and then push this down. So does this look like the trend can continue to the upside? Absolutely. See a nice move up, and if I draw this, just a basic, using a basic brush to simplify it, up move, a pullback, and then what people are expecting is the trend to continue just like that, right? But on the bearish side, what I don't like is, let me remove this really quick, is that once we got over this long-term median zone, you can see back here where we found that strong resistance, the market found support again, and it couldn't stay above that. Now, we're up at that level again, and you can see it's making a longer wick up top, which is showing some resistance on top of that trend line that I showed you before, which I'll draw it again quickly here. Okay, you can see it found resistance previously, now up again to hit this resistance. Do I feel, and on top of that, we have this this gap right here. I was speaking about this gap, the market trying to find fill this gap before we move higher or make a move lower, and that's exactly what it did. Now, is it going to do that again on this gap? Remains to be seen. Tomorrow could be telling on what direction the market wants to go, right? If I zoom back out to a weekly chart, it might seem, or it might appear more clear. We have that support, resistance, couldn't hold above this median level, and now finding resistance again right over here, just like this area here. And if we zoom in just a little bit, we have a big gap over here, and we have a slight gap over here. So it's kind of, in my opinion, I'm looking to stay flat, even though I want to go short to take advantage of a potential big down move, but I prefer to wait for the market to give me more clear direction. And again, on this weekly chart, you can see this move up, and what we would like to see is maybe a pullback, find support here, and then the trend will continue. But if you go back to the daily chart, you could see that there's potential still to fill this gap and make a move down. So if we do push higher tomorrow, if I do attempt any type of short, I'm going to be looking for the same trend line that I took a short on a few weeks ago, where you see these levels right here. As a matter of fact, I can move this back a little bit so you guys can see. And if I play that, you can see it found resistance once, resistance twice. And as it makes its move up, I thought we were going to hit that resistance again here, but we didn't. So now we find ourselves back up to this zone. Okay. So if we're going to move up here, potentially, I will try a short up here if we make a big move. But I would rather see and wait and see if this market's going to, wants to stay bullish, or if it wants to like bring back down and make a stronger pullback, maybe back here. Again, this whole level, it's uncertain for me right now, this whole zone. And you can see the up and down, the battle between the support and resistance levels. This market's going to stay low. It's going to come back down here, or are we going to push to even fill this slight gap over here? It's still to be determined. So if you're going to go ahead and look for shorting opportunities, this might be an optimal level, but I would steer clear and wait for FOMC to kind of pass through, right? Let's wait to see what how the market's going to react to the Federal Reserve interest rate, if it's going to be a hike or if it's not going to be a hike, and what Jerome Powell has to say about the economy and the interest rates and the banking sector. So with that said, that's going to be the analysis for this week. We'll see what happens going into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If we do end up pulling back here, I still will not look to take straight positions until I can see a clear break even below this level. I've been saying that if we can trade below 1.055, that would open things up to try to be more on the bearish side. But again, this pivotal zone has been such strong support that right now it just doesn't look like the market wants to break to the downside. And to the upside, again, if we start breaking above this median level, then we start looking for potential long opportunities. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. And with that said, I know last week I wasn't able to do a recap, end of week recap on Friday, but I will try to get that done this week. And that way we have a whole view of the entire week and the trading week going into the following week. And we'll see what happens. So trade safe, manage your risk. Definitely just steer clear of a lot of market volatility. It has a tendency to do a lot of fake outs and get you in a position that you don't want to be in. And again, use stop loss and once again, manage your risk. So I'll see you guys in the next trading recap.